السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. بلشنا الآن المحاضرة. الجميع أول شيء سامعيني كويس؟ اللي سامعني كويس يضغط على الصح. ممتاز. في حد ما سامعني؟ اللي ما سامعني يضغط على الإكس. طيب ممتاز جدا، معناته الجميع سامعيني. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. طبعا نعرفكم نفسي أول شيء. أول محاضرة معي أنا ضبط بس الكاميرا. اسمي الدكتور علي مهدي، أنا اللي راح أدرسكم مادة الكمبيوتر بروجرامينج 1. المادة هي عبارة عن خليط ما بين الثيوري وما بين البرمجة. طبعا الآن أتكلم بالعربي، لكنه يعني بعد شوي راح أبلش أتكلم إنجليزي، وكل محاضرات راح تكون بالإنجليزي. طبعا راح أتكلم بالإنجليزي، الإيميلات اللي بيناتنا راح تكون في الإنجليزي، الأسئلة اللي تسألونيها لازم تكون في الإنجليزي، والامتحانات طبعا بالإنجليزي. طبعا مع هذا أنا أساعد اللي عنده مشكلة في الإنجليزي، كلمة ما فهمها إلى آخره، أنا أقدر أساعده بالترجمة إلى آخره. طيب خلينا نعرف بعض القوانين. طبعا ما شاء الله العدد هائل جدا، أنا أتكلم عن فوق 200 طالب، فراح اختار اني امنع الشات وامنع الاسئله، لانه لو تركت المجال للاسئله راح تروح المحاضره. لكن بالمقابل تقدروا تتواصلوا معي عن طريق الايميل اللي راح يكون قدامكم على الشاشه الان. من خلال الايميل هذا اللي طبعا الان بنحكي محاضرتنا ساعه، كل واحد يتوقع معه يكون ورقه وقلم ويكتب كل الملاحظات، اي مشكله، اي شغله مش فاهمينها، سلايد مش فاهمين كلمه مش فاهمينها الى اخره، تبعثوا لي بيها ايميل وانا ان شاء الله اجاوبكم خلال ساعات معدوده. طيب الايميل تاعي هو، انا مخليه عربي اسف، الايميل تاعي هو mahdi@seu.edu.sa. شفتوا الايميل جميعا؟ شفتوا الايميل؟ اذا صح تدوسوا على جرين تشيك. اوكي معناته شفتوه. طيب هذا الايميل اللي من خلاله تتواصلوا معي a.mahdi@scu.edu.sa. اللي عنده اي سؤال، اي استفسار، ملاحظه الى اخره، تبعث لي على الايميل هذا، وان شاء الله خلال ساعات، انتم ما شاء الله عدد هائل، فممكن يحتاج وقت عشان اجاوب على كل طالب. طيب شفتوا الايميل اعتقد. الان نرجع. طبعا المحاضره هذه ريكوردد مسجله، فايضا الادفانتج انه في اي لحظه تقدروا ترجعوا لها بعد المحاضره، تقدروا تشوفوا اللي فاتكم من او اذا فاتكم شيء من المحاضره. طيب نرجع على السلايدات معنا. اوكي بسم الله نبلش. كمبيوتر بروجرامينج. راح اتكلم انترودكشن عن الكمبيوتر بروجرامينج. أول ما نتكلم عن الكمبيوتر بروجرامينج، ليش بروجرامينج أصلاً؟ شو البرمجة؟ وليش البرمجة؟ طبعاً الآن أنتم ملاحظين أنه حياتنا أصبحت متحكمة بالسوفت وير. كل واحد منا تقريباً عنده سمارت فون، سواء كان أبل أو أندرويد إلى آخره. تشوفوا أنه في عندنا أصبح سوفت وير يتحكم في حياتنا وسهل حياتنا بشكل واسع. وكل شيء كل شيء في حياتنا الان عباره عن سوفت وير. الان اللي يصعد على الاسانسير او المصعد الاليفيتر ويو بريس جراوند سكند جراوند فور اكزامبل، ايش اللي يخلي المصعد يصعد؟ هو عباره عن هاردوير، عباره عن حديد، باب الى اخره. ايش اللي يخليه يصعد بحيث يصل بالضبط للليفل الثاني، بحيث انه ارضيه المصعد تلامس ارضيه الكوريدور. طبعا هذا تم باستخدام السوفت وير. السوفت وير بيخليه بيشتغل بهذه الطريقه. نفس الشيء العمليات الجراحيه، نفس المبدا. انا عمليه الليزك على سبيل المثال تصحيح البصر، كيف تتم عباره عن طبعا جهاز عباره عن هاردوير، ويكون منصوب عليه السوفت وير بحيث يسوي العمليه الجراحيه او عمليه الليزك بحيث يصحح البصر. طبعا من اهميه السوفت وير لازم يكون على يعني غايه من الدقه، لانه خلل هيك بتودي الانسان في داهيه. طيب، فهذه بس يعني ليش احنا نستخدم برمجه بشكل عام. طيب، الشابتر جولز طبعا بالمناسبه الامتحانات والاسسمنت طبعا راح يعني احكي لكم عنها بعدين. راح يكون معنا طبعا امتحانات، راح يكون معنا اساينمنت. دائما تابعوني، دائما كونوا معي بحيث اللي بس على الفضل. طيب، دائما تابعوني يعني راح اخليكم اساينمنت اسبوعيه. الاساينمنت اسست عليها علامات، فلازم كل اساينمنت منكم تسووه لازم تسووه بالوقت المحدد اللي انا طالبه منكم. طيب، الشابتر جولز نتكلم عن اهداف الشابتر. اول شيء to learn about computers and programming، بدنا نعرف شو الكمبيوترز وشو البروجرامينج. النقطة الثانية to compile and run your first Java program. طيب، in this lecture راح شوية حول انجليزي هسه. In this lecture we will be using Java programming. Does anyone know what Java is? If you know what Java is, check the green mark. Okay? Many of you know what Java is. Java will be the official programming language that we will be using in this module. If you don't know it, it's no problem because we will start from the basics and we will build on and on. Okay. The third goal of our lecture, of this chapter, is to recognize compile time and runtime errors. In programming, we will be having errors, problems. The problems are divided into two categories. We have a compile time and runtime errors. We will also discuss them and we will talk about them. Also, to describe an algorithm with pseudocode, we will be talking about algorithm. عارفين شو يعني algorithm؟ يعني خوارزميات. يعني الآليات اللي من خلالها كيف نبني برنامج. طيب. Computer programs. إيش يعني computer programs? Computers are programmed to perform many different tasks. الأجهزة I always give an example. I give a comparison between computers and human beings. Computers are much similar to human beings. Humans are constructed from hardware, which is the human body, and also a software, which is the soul, الروح. الإنسان عبارة عن جسد وعبارة عن روح. بدون روح ما في عندنا حركة. الجسد بيكون لا شيء. It's the same idea as the computers. Computer is hardware. Without the software, the computer can do nothing. It will just sit there, you look at it, and it will do nothing. So software is the engine for the hardware of the computers. طيب. Computers execute very basic instructions in rapid succession. Now, computers have made our lives easier. Imagine all the calculations that are going in the world. We're using an enormous number of calculations, very difficult, very complex calculations. Humans cannot perform these calculations in the speed as the computers do. Okay, a computer program is a sequence of instructions and decisions. We have instructions for the computer. The computer is, as I said, it's a hardware. You have to give it instructions, awamr, to do what you want it to do. Back to the example of the lift. The lift is a hardware. The lift will do nothing unless someone programs it to do what's supposed to do. يعني من تجلس على level 3 عشان تصعد المصعد الإليفيتر تصعد على level 3. الإليفيتر knows nothing. عبارة عن hardware. لكن somebody programmed the lift to go to level 3 when you press the button 3 and so on. Okay. Programming is an act of designing and implementation of computer programs. البروجرام عبارة عن designing هو عبارة عن تصميم وتطبيق لبرامج مختلفة. The physical computer and peripherals devices are collectively called the hardware. نحن حكينا السوفتوير عبارة عن روح. يعني Java that we will be using for this module is a software. What's the software? Is something that you cannot touch. Software, just like the روح. the soul. The soul you cannot touch. While the hardware, for example, the arm is the hardware, you can touch it. While the software, you cannot touch. Same as the soul you cannot touch. Same as the computer. The computer is software and hardware. The hardware you can touch, like a mouse. This is a mouse. It's a hardware. I can touch it. While the Java, I cannot touch it. It's software. Okay. The programs the computer executes are called the software, as I said. Right, we'll see. These are some few basic questions just to get you started. What is required? Just a question. What is required to play music CD? Even your music CD in the computer, how can you use it to play? The answer is in front of you. A program that reads the data on the CD. You need a program, software, to read the data on the CD to convert it to the screen and to the speakers. Why is the CD player less flexible than the computer? ليش the CD player أقل فعالية من الكمبيوter? The CD player can do nothing. It's just a CD player, play music, CDs, and that's it. While computer can do many calculations. What does the computer user need to know about programming? This is important. السؤال الأخير يعني مهم. What does the computer user need to know about programming in order to play a video game? مش عارف إذا حدا منكم يلعب فيديو جيم على الموبايل أو على البلاي ستيشن أو على الكمبيوter. Do you need to know programming in order to play games? The answer is no. Now, do you need to know the mechanism of driving a car in order to drive a car? No. تقدر تسوق سيارة من غير ما تعرف ميكانيكية السيارة. Someone has designed the car for you. You can drive it, and you do not need to know how does it work. Well, it is good to know how it does work. Obviously, it's good to know if you're in a car. It's good to know how the car works, but you don't have to know how the car works in order to drive the car. Same idea applies on the computer. Now, when you use word processor to type in text, we all know how to use word processor. Does anyone doesn't know how to use word processor? Raise your hand. Well, I thought so. No one, obviously, now we all know how to use word processor. Now, word processor is not just like a word processor, it's a program. Microsoft has programmed it for you. So there's a program. So when you type in, hello, my name is Ali, it's a program going in the background writing, hello, my name is Ali. Now, you don't need to know what's the programming in the background. You only need to see what you're doing. This is the beauty of the program, that you don't always need to know what's going on in the background. You can still use it. Okay. Now, let's have a look at some important anatomy of the computer. What does anatomy mean? يعني القطع أو الأجزاء الكمبيوتر. anatomy of the computer means أجزاء الكمبيوter. مثل ما حكيت لكم، اللي عنده أي سؤال، أنا أعتذر أنه الشات سويته أوف، وطبعا ما راح أسمح أي مجال للأسئلة لأنه ما في وقت، لكنه اللي عنده سؤال في أي لحظة تكتب سؤال على ورقة وتبعث لي في ايميل. انا ان شاء الله ماكسيمم بكره بكون اجاوب على كل الايميلز اللي توردني. فيعني ايميلاتكم مهمه. نسيت احكي لكم انه السيلبس اللي هو الستودنت مانيوال موجود عندكم على البلاك بورد تحت الكونتنت. الكونتنت في السلايدات اللي تشوفوها قدامكم، وبرضه في السيلبس. نسيت احكي لكم على النقطه هاي، نقطه مهمه. فالسيلبس اللي تحكي لكم اسم الكتاب المستخدم والى اخره، وفي السلايدات اسبوعيا راح اسوي لها ابديت، موجوده في البلاك بورد داخل الكونتنت. Okay, great. The anatomy, the parts of the computer, we have 4 main parts of the computer. We have the heart of the computer, قلب الجهاز. Just like the human being has a heart, the computer also has a heart called the CPU, Central Processing Unit. Does anyone not know what the CPU is? Put a check. If you do not know what a CPU is, with a check. Okay? 2 people don't know what the CPU is. The CPU is معالج. شكله جاي بهذا الشكل. شايفينه؟ شايفين the green part? The green part is the processor of the computer. This little part is only like a square. It's like that big. It's built in the computer. It will do all your calculations for you. This is the heart of the computer. It's called the CPU, or the central processing unit. So it controls the programs. يتحكم في البرامج. Also it does data processing. تعالج معلومات. نحن عندنا programs وعندنا معلومات. It controls تحكم البرامج وأيضا تسوي process للمعلومات. Okay, that's the CPU. Also we have storage. تخزين مثل الإنسان عنده عقل للتخزين. Same as the computer. The computer has storage. The storage, we have two types of storages. We have a memory, RAM, which is a primary storage, and we also have a secondary storage. Does anyone know? Okay, I will put the chat on. Tell me if you know the difference between the primary storage and the secondary storage. If you know, write your answers in the chat. Do you know? Do you know what's the difference? That's right. RAM is volatile. صح. Okay. One of them was wrong. Okay, wrong. Okay, good. So I'm getting feedback here, which is good. Thank you. I'll turn it off again. Thank you very much. Thank you for that. Yes, some of you know what's the difference between a memory, primary storage and secondary storage. Primary storage is a temporary storage, مؤقت. ايش المؤقت؟ يعني تشتغل فقط إذا الجهاز كان شغال. When you run a program, for example, you open word processor. The word processor will open up using the primary storage, الذاكرة الأولية المؤقتة. عشان هيك إذا طفيت الجهاز، يعني أنت الآن عندك word processor and you are writing a document. If you do not save your document and turn off the computer, what will happen? You will lose your data. Is that right? Because it is saving on the RAM, which is a temporary storage. Now, if you click Save on the word processor, where it will take it? It will take it to the secondary storage. The secondary storage is permanent. إيش يعني permanent؟ يعني طويل الأمد. على سبيل المثال الهارد ديسك. الهارد ديسك عبارة عن permanent. فلاش ميموري عبارة عن permanent. لأنه هي واحدة ذاكرة يعني تقوم بتخزين المعلومات إلى يعني ما لا نهاية ما لم يخرب الجهاز أو أنت تمحي المعلومات. فهذا الفرق ما بين البرايمري وبين السكندري. البرايمري زي ما حكيت لكم مؤقت تنتهي إذا طفينا الجهاز. السكندري ما تنتهي بتظلها زي الهارد تاعكم سي دي البارتيشنز اللي موجود عندكم في الأجهزة. في عندكم سي، في عندكم دي، في عندكم إي، في عندكم سي، في عندكم دي، في عندكم إي. هذه كلها عبارة عن permanent storages. وضحت؟ يعني حتى لو طفيت الجهاز مجرد انك تشغل الجهاز موجوده مخزنه في الهارد ديسك. اوكي، بس the second part of the computer anatomy. اوكي، the third one is peripherals. peripherals سيارات. يعني ايش سيارات؟ او خلينا نحكي ملحقات. وايش هو زي الملحقات؟ زي الماوس. هذا عباره عن peripheral ملحق. نحتاج الماوس عشان الماوس عباره عن ايش؟ it's an input device. من خلالها نقدر نسوي input. ايش يعني click؟ يعني أنا الآن باستخدام الماوس I can go forward and backward on the slides. This is an input. Also, we have, for example, a keyboard. This is a keyboard. Okay, if you can see it, here we go. That's a keyboard. It's also an input device. I can type it now, just like I did. I put my email using the keyboard. This is peripheral. For example, we have the screen. الشاشة عبارة عن input والoutput. طبعا انتم ما تفتحوا output device. ايش output يعني؟ يعني عم تظهر لي المعلومات. طبعا الآن مع تقدم التكنولوجيا أصبحت الشاشات الديول إن يعني في نفس الوقت input output. كيف؟ طبعا output that you can see the data. input أصبحت touch screen. حتى الآن معظم الموبايلات الآن أصبحت عبارة عن touch screen. اوكي، فالسكرين بحد ذاتها أصبحت يعني تستخدم كinput device أو كoutput device. Also we have networks. وإيش networks؟ عبارة عن شبكات. يعني على سبيل المثال in my office here, in my office I have a printer and I have a scanner shared, so I can from using my computer I can print, I can scan إلى آخره. This is networks. Okay. Now, are we clear about everything so far about the slides? Does anyone does not understand any of the slides? اللي مش فاهم أي slide, put X please. If you do not understand any slide, put X. If you understand, put the green sign. MashaAllah. Excellent. I did not get any X, which means that everyone is understanding. Perfect. I like this. Excellent. That's it. Thank you very much. Right. Let's go on to the next slide. As I showed you the central processing unit, the CPU. This is the heart of the computer. Right. This is the picture. Can you see? This is the picture of the hard disk. The hard disk, which is secondary storage, as we said, secondary storage. This is a picture of the hard disk. This is a schematic diagram of the computer. It is like a مخطط, shows you how the computer works. Now, if you see the big green box, let me see if I can highlight it. I think I can. Right. Can you see this box? Can you see this box? This box, imagine this is a computer. It has ports, input ports, so you can connect your printer, mouse, keyboard, microphone, camera, إلى آخره through the ports. This is a CPU, the heart of the machine. We have a memory, ذاكرة, واللي هي نوعين. إما قد تكون primary primary memory or secondary memory. We also have the disk control. Oh, sorry, this is the memory, this is the RAM itself. So this is the primary, which is the temporary مؤقتة. وفي عندنا اللي هي long life أو permanent اللي هي ممكن تكون CD, DVD donor, CD donor. We have for example a disk, hard disk إلى آخره. Also we have output devices, for example monitor, speakers. السماعات عبارة عن output devices. انتوا الآن سامعيني من خلال السماعات. أنا عم بحكي معاكم من خلال الميكروفون. الميكروفون is an input device. زي هذا اللي عليه الإيد. input device. انتوا سامعيني باستخدام السبيكرز اللي هي output device. Also we have network. Also the network enable us to go to the internet. Now, this is, I forgot this example. This is a very, very good example. How are we communicating now? How am I talking to you now? How can you see me now? You are seeing me through a network. We are joined by BlackBoard. BlackBoard is part of the network, part of the internet. So now we are communicating. Most of you don't even live in Riyadh. I'm in Riyadh now. Most of you are not in Riyadh. Okay? Even though we are separately, we have long distances apart, but we can still communicate. This is a network. Okay. Let's go to the next slide. This is also a second set of questions, just easy questions to get you understanding more. Now the first question, where is the program stored when it is not currently running? إذا البرنامج not running, where it is stored? زي ما حكيت لكم in the secondary storage بالهارد ديسك. إذا عندنا البرنامج ما هو شغال يعني where the processor you saved it, okay? So it is stored in the secondary storage. So الثاني, which part of the computer carries out arithmetic operations such as addition and multiplication? زي ما حكيت لكم أي جزء من الأجزاء اللي يكونها الكمبيوتيشن البروسيسنج، يعني جمع، طرح، ضرب، قسمة إلى آخره. مين هو اللي يسوي لنا الحكي هذا؟ هي Central Processing Unit CPU, heart of the machine. A modern smartphone is a computer. أصبحت الآن السمارت فونز عبارة عن mini computers. Now with smartphones you can do many things. This is also like a computer. Obviously, not as powerful as a computer because the computer is more powerful. It is also, you can also use it to write a document. You can write a Word document using your phones. You can go on the internet. Oh, mashallah, internet is very easy using your phone as an internet device. Very easy. Okay, let's go to the next slide. Now, if this one is called the Oyster card. This is just an example. It shows you that computers are everywhere. We are now, the computers dominate us. يعني computers لا يتحكموا فينا. أصبح الكمبيوتر هو يعني حياتنا كلها. بدون كمبيوتر احنا يعني ما نقدر نحكي، ما نقدر نتكلم خطوتين أو ما نقدر عفوا نمشي خطوتين. فالكمبيوتر everywhere. This card, Oyster card, هذا الأويستر كارد يستخدموه لندن اندرجراوند. إذا رايحين لندن رايحين اندرجراوند بعض الزباين يستخدموا الأويستر كارد، يعني زي كمبيوترايز تشيب بيسووا له سكان بيسمح لهم بالدخول through the gate. Even your bank card is computerized. It's got a chip. You can go to ATM. You can get money. You can go to the shop and pay using your card. This is all computerized. Okay, this was just like an introduction on the computers. So far, is everyone understanding? هل الجميع فاهم؟ إذا فاهمين press green button please أو green check. ما شاء الله في حدا مش فاهم، اللي مش فاهم طبعا بيخلي لي red cross. ما شاء الله ما في حدا مش فاهم، إن شاء الله الجميع فاهمين. As I said, if you have any question, any problem, you can always email me on the email that I put earlier. Right. Now this was brief introduction on what computer is. Now let's start talking about Java. As I said, Java is one of many programming languages. We have Java, we have C, we have C++, we have C#, we have assembly language, we have MATLAB, we have so many programs. But Java is becoming a very common programming language. Along with C#. C#, I don't know if you know C#. C# is a very powerful programming language. It is used widely. But Java is also a very common programming language. Why? Java is called object-oriented language. Let me write it down for you. Java, let me write it down for you. Java is called object-oriented language. Java is called object-oriented language. Have you heard of this term before? I don't know, you might have not. Why object-oriented? Because Java deals with all the programs as objects. Now, you have to understand this. Everything in the universe عبارة عن object. كل شيء بتشوفوه في الكون كله عبارة عن object، عناصر. Now, كل عنصر إيش ما كان، إن شاء الله إيش ما كان، كل عنصر له شغلتين. كل عنصر يتميز بشغلتين. أكتبها لكم. Okay, it's not right for some reason. Right, let me try. Okay, every object has two characteristics. كل object has two characteristics. يعني عند كل object في الدنيا، كل عنصر في الدنيا عنده خاصيتين. الأولى first one number one. الأولى has attributes. والثانية behavior. وخلتي behavior وattribute. كل عنصر بالدنيا شايفين التكست، في حدا مش شايف التكست، اللي مش شايف التكست يخليه اكس. كلكم شايفين التكست. في حدا مش شايف التكست، 2 3 ليش؟ اوكي. يعني المحاضرات recorded. If you cannot see the text, you can refer to the slides later. So, as you can see, maybe there's a slight delay because of the connection. I think you all saw it. Yeah, there's always like slight delay بطيء شوي connection فممكن أنا أحكي أو أكتب شغلة خلف بعد ثواني. Okay. طيب. So every object has two characteristics خاصيتين. Attribute. إيش يعني attribute؟ Attribute يعني ميزات أو خصائص. وbehavior يعني سلوكيات. الإنسان كل إنسان في الدنيا الإنسان عبارة عن عنصر بهذا الكون. كل إنسان له خصائص وله سلوكيات. الماوس اللي قدامكم لها خصائص ولها سلوكيات. إيش خصائصها؟ خصائصها أنه هي ماوس. من خصائصها أنه لها سكرول. شايفين هذا السكرول؟ طبعا إذا شايفينه لا السكرول هذا من خصائص الماوس. لونه أسود. black color. That's also a characteristic. It uses infrared light. That's also an attribute. I'm talking about attributes. طيب هذا خصائص. إيش البيهيفير؟ شو سلوكيات الماوس اللي عندي؟ الماوس من سلوكياتها it is used as an input device. تستخدم كinput device. هذه سلوكياتها. القلم also عنصر. حكيت لكم كل شيء في الدنيا عبارة عن عنصر. وكل عنصر له attribute له خصائص. لكن أنا أحب أنه تفكروا في العناصر. الآن عندي قلم. القلم also has attributes and has behavior. الاتريبيوت تاع هذا القلم ممكن له ايش؟ له بطر. هذا من خصائص القلم عنده له بطر. في حبر. هذا من خصائصه. لونه من خصائصه. البيهيفير تاعه سلوكياته انه يكتب. من سلوكيات القلم انه يكتب. السيارة الاتريبيوتس لها لون، لها عجلات، لها ابواب، لها شبابيك. هاي كلها من خصائص السيارة. لها الجير، لها ستيرنج. هاي كلها من خصائص السيارة. البيهيفير تاع السيارة تمشي، تتسارع، تتباطأ، بتروح يمين، بتروح شمال، إلى آخره. هاي كلها من البيهيفير سلوكيات السيارة. طيب هذا اللي حبيت أحكي لكم. عشان هيك جافا يستخدم كل شيء عبارة عن يعني يستخدم مش تقنية النظرية العلمية. مش تقنية وإنما هي نظرية علمية. يستخدم النظرية العلمية أنه كل شيء عبارة عن object. So Java is object-oriented language. It works as object. Anything you put in Java, you will treat it تعملها كأنه object. Let's go back to the slides. Okay. Java. Also, Java is safe. يعني safe إنه آمن. يعني ما في bugs. كويس كبرمجة. Portable. هذا نقول ولا safe. Portable متنقل. Portable. يعني تقدر الآن you can use it on your desktop. Then move it and use it on your laptop. It's portable. يعني متنقل. حجمه صغير أيضا. Okay. Also platform independent. يعني إيش؟ مستقل. Distributed as instructions for a virtual machine. يعني سواء كان عندك Windows, Mac إلى آخره, you can still use Java. Although there are different, well, there are slight modification. Obviously, if you have a Mac operating system, which is Linux, or you have a Windows operating system, the Java will differ slightly. But anyway, it can be used on both machines. So it's platform independent. مستقلة. The set of library packages. Wow, it's got library packages. إيش library packages? طيب طبعا إحنا يعني we will talk about library in more details later in the course. But let me give you a brief introduction on library. Libraries عبارة عن مكتبة موجودة في البرمجة. يعني على سبيل المثال خلوني أفكر في مثال. الآن الانترفيس اللي قدامكم GUI الانترفيس انتم شايفيني وشايفين في عندكم الكلوز بutton والى اخره. هذا الشغلات اللي انتم شايفينها على الشاشه هاي يسموها جرافيكال يوزر انترفيس. الانترفيس اللي انتم عم تتعاملوا معه. طيب بالباك جراوند هو ما في انترفيس. بالباك جراوند في كود رننج شغال. طيب انتم الان اذا تعتبروا مبرمجين وبرمجتوا انتم راح تبرمجوا. طبعا انا مثلا كيوزر خلينا نحكي انا ما اعرف بالبرمجه مثلا. انا اشتغل في داتابيس. أنا إذا اشتغلت في داتابيز زي ما حكيت لكم في بداية المحاضرة، أنت مش ضروري تعرف الكود عشان تشتغل. يعني الآن خلينا نحكي أنا أشتغل على سبيل المثال في مكتب سفريات، يعني توريزم إلى آخره، يعني ترافل ايجنسي، مكتب سفر، وأنا عندي داتابيز، حدا صمم لي داتابيز عشان مواعيد الرحلات وحجز المقاعد وإلى آخره للزباين. طبعا أنا ممكن أكون مش IT person، ما أعرفش ولا حبة في موضوع البروجرامينج، لكن I can still use my database. Now this is called interface. الانترفيس طبعا انت كمبرمج مش ضروري تبرمج الانترفيس موجود عندنا في اللايبرري. هذا الحلو اللي فيه انه saves you time، يعني الجافا يوفر عليك وقت كبير، بدل ما انك تبرمج الانترفيس. You don't have to. It's a function موجود في اللايبرري. You just call it. Don't worry about it now. We will talk about it in more detail. I'll make you design graphic user interface in the so you will know what libraries are later on. Also, Java designed for the internet. Have you heard of JavaScript? If you heard of JavaScript, put yes or green mark. JavaScript or Java applet. JavaScript or Java applet. Okay? Many of you know what JavaScript or Java applet is. The JavaScript and Java applet are tools help us to have web pages. Most of web pages use JavaScript or Java applet, especially the ones that have it's got like interfaces. It's got payments like eBay. eBay use JavaScript, okay, and so on. So Java is also used to design the internet web pages. This table is not very important, but it's just for you to see the evolution, التطوير بتاع الجافا. طبعا بلش عندنا جافا فيرجن 1 بال 96. طبعا جافا started in early 90s جافا، بس يعني كان بدايات بسيطة، بس فعلا اشتغل صح بال 69 96 فيرجن 1. بعد هيك بلش يتطور الى الان عندنا 2011 اصبح الجافا يعني برنامج واسع جدا، وايضا وايدلي يوزد، منتشر بشكل واسع جدا. Some other questions for you, other sets of questions. What are the two most important benefits of the Java language? يعني لو سألت في الامتحان ايش ال most important benefits of the Java language? Safety and portability. Safety انه يعني آمن، ما يحصل لك مشاكل، stable، وايضا portability سهل النقل والتنقيل. How long does it take to learn the entire Java library? طيب الليبرري اللي حكيت عنها، المكتبة بتاع الجافا، كم بدنا من الوقت عشان نتعرف على كل الليبرري؟ طبعا يعني it's impossible. الجواب no person can learn the entire library. Library جدا huge، واسع بشكل ما في حدا في العالم بيعرف الانتاير library. انت تعرف فقط بقدر ما تستخدم او بقدر ما استخدمته. فهذه الحلاوه اللي موجوده في الجافا. اللايبرري is a huge library واسعه جدا. اوكي، الان خلونا نستعرض. Now we will demonstrate some of the Java programming. We will display some of Java programming. So this slide and the next slide you can read it yourself. Let us look at Java program. Okay. Now to download Java, go to Google. Let me write it down for you. Okay. Why can I not? Okay. Just a second, let me. Okay. To download Java program, you need to do the following. Go to Google and type in طبعا we have many Java compilers. في عندنا كذا برامج جافا، لكن اعتقد المستخدم اللي راح يستخدمه هون برنامج اسمه BlueJ. Okay. Now also type in your operating system. ايش اللي عم تستخدمه؟ Windows XP، عم تستخدم Windows. طبعا افضل Windows. Do not use Mac. If you have MacBook, although I'm a Mac fan, I use Mac. But for the sake of the subject, try to use Windows, so we can all like share knowledge together. Because as I said, if you use Mac, it might not be compatible with Windows version. So we try to be unified here. So try to use Windows Java. So depending on your Windows, you might have XP, you might have Windows 7, you might have Windows 8. Depending on your platform, you have to download the BlueJ. But also make sure you install JDK first. You will see it with the BlueJ. There are also different programs. For example, JCreator. There is also NetBeans. They're all perfect. You can use any of them you want. But normally, I think we would be working with BlueJ. Okay, mostly I think we will be working with BlueJ. Okay, you got this information. Okay, anyway, let's leave the page and go back to the slides. As I said, this lecture is recorded, so if you missed anything, or if you came in late, you can still have a look at the recording of this lecture, and it should be fine. Okay. Right. So let's have a look at Java program. Now, this entire page, this one, you can see that the whole window is the BlueJ that you can use to create your Java program. Right. Now I'm going to ask you a question. Does anyone not know anything about programming? If you do not know anything about programming, put X. If you do not know anything about programming, put X. Okay, quite many of you do not know programming. So I suggest also, as well as these lectures, you go on the internet to Google and type in Learn Java, or type in, let me add a text. Oh, sorry. I'm having problem in, okay, that's it. Now we can also go to Google and type in, for example, Java tutorials. It will give you, Google, you can do anything now and everything. So go to Google and familiarize yourself. Now this is very important. As I said, now this is important. Don't forget, you are studying at an open university. So a lot of work you have to do yourself. Now we only have like an hour lecture a week. An hour lecture is not really enough. You can always email me for questions, but also you have to make some efforts. You have to study yourself. You have plenty of time, I hope. I know some of you might be working, or you have other issues and stuff. But anyway, you have to spend some time learning yourself as well. So go to Google, type in Java tutorials, or type in something like learn how to program in Java, learn how to program in Java, also Java basics إلى آخره. يعني just play around with these words. Go to Google and try to understand what Java is. Okay, so this is like a homework, not official homework, but something that you can do or you should do yourselves. Right. Let's go back to the slides. Okay, right. So we have this environment. Now you can create a class by pressing on File, a new project. session of find new project, you will have class. Now Java is divided into classes and methods. classes and methods. يعني عندنا جافا هي المظلة الكبيرة. داخل جافا نقدر نفتح كلاسز. كل كلاس عبارة عن فايل اللي راح تبرمج فيه. طبعا الكلاسز إذا فتحت يعني أكثر من كلاس، الكلاسز have to be linked together. Okay? يعني they have to يعني الآن نشوفوا قدامنا مكتوب عندنا hello printer. هذا كلاس واحد. لكن لو بدكم different classes, you can use different classes, لكن they have to be linked together. If you have another thing that has got nothing to do with the other class, you have to open a new project. مشروع جديد. طيب. الآن you can open, as you can see, you can open a new project, call it whatever you want to call it, it's entirely up to you, and then type in it. Now, let's start with a simple task. A simple task is to print a line. يعني تبرمجه بحيث انه البرنامج يطبع لك سطر بس، يطبع سطر قدامك. طيب الآن ركزوا معي، هذا homework you have to do yourself. I will ask you to do a homework for me. طيب we have hello printer, called whatever you want, and then you open your main class called public class hello printer. This name has to be exactly as this name, because this is the main method. هذا طبعا كل برنامج جافا فيه main method واحدة بس. main method واحدة. هذه main method هي المشغل البرنامج كله. So you have to have one main method, والباقي إن شاء الله you can have a million classes, a million methods, no problem. But you must have only one main method. It always starts with public, static, void, main, string, arg. This is exactly the syntax. It's always the same. And then you do what you want to now. To print a line in Java, you put system.out.println. Can you see it? To print a line using Java, you have to put in system.out.println, which means line. بعدين تفتحوا أقواس, right? And then between double quotation like this, between double quotation, like this, okay, you can write your stuff. Now, the stuff you write in, oops, delete this page, okay, no, delete this page, okay, right, between the quotations, you write whatever you want to write. So this area here is your code. Let me show it to you. This here, all of it, is your code. Here where you write your code. This window here is the output. See what we did? We wrote this code so we can print the word hello world. Right. Now your homework, what I would like you to do is the following. I would like you to install, just let me write it. Install Java as specified. C5. سووا installation للجافا زي ما حكيت لكم. بعد هيك create a new project from file. So creation a new project. Then I would like you to print a simple statement. Print a simple statement. يعني طبعا هذا homework. يعني I would like you to do it by, let's say today is Tuesday, tomorrow evening. Okay, so I would like you to send me the file, by Wednesday, خلينا نحكي 8 خلينا نحكي 10 PM. Okay, send me the file by Wednesday 10 PM، يعني بكره معاكم الساعة 10 بالليل تبعثوا لي فايل install Java as required, create a new project وprint me a simple statement بهذا الشكل زي ما حكينا، انه طبعا في الستيج بحيث يطلع عندي طبعا في اسئله، اعطوني 5 دقائق واحاول اجاوب على اسئلتكم بحيث يكون عندكم يعني يطلع لي simple statement. Write whatever you want. You can write hello, you can write welcome to Java, whatever you want to write, but I want you to try it yourself. This is a simple task. I would like you to try it yourself. Last slide I would like to talk about. Okay, this is just a diagram shows you the editor where you write where the program is. This is called the editor. The whole thing called the editor. And then you have your source file. The source file is this one. This one is your source file, like the whole thing. This is your source file. And then you have the compiler. The compiler is the program that runs by the way, I forgot to tell you. Once you finish writing, you've got to press on this button here. Once you finish typing your code, you've got to press on this button here. That's means you're telling the program to start. Once the program starts, it will type you or to give you the output here. Try it. Even if you make mistakes, no problem. I will not give you marks on mistakes. If you make a mistake for this homework, it's no problem. I would like you to try it. All of you, I would like you to try this program so you get a grip, an understanding of Java. So you can get a bit of understanding for Java. So I would like all of you to try it. Even if you make a mistake, it doesn't matter. It's okay. But I want you to try it. Now then you have the class file and the library files. It doesn't matter. And then you get the running machine. It's okay. This folder hierarchy shows you the تقسيمات. يعني we have the main file here and we have sub files. Just like any file in the world, it will have a main file. It will have a sub-file of this file, and it will also have a sub-file of this file, and so on. It's called folder hierarchy. يعني التقسيمات يعني من الأعلى للأوسط تقريبا. فعندنا يعني هذا عبارة عن main file، هذا عبارة عن main file، بس هذول الاثنين main files. عندنا هذول sections عبارة عن sub-files ل CS1 هذول عبارة عن sub-files للpage 02. هذا على سبيل المثال هو subsection للفولدر، وهكذا يسموها folder hierarchy. راح تشوفوها بالبرنامج. كل ما زاد عدد الكلاسات تاعكم كل ما راح يكون عندكم folder hierarchy. It doesn't matter for now. Right. Now, I think that's it for today. So I will give you, we've got 15 minutes. So I will I will take only a few questions. Obviously, we have 15 minutes. I don't think I can handle all the questions. As I said, you can always email me with your questions if you have questions. Right. You can also, I've put the slides on the Blackboard and the content, and I also put the syllabus. Please have a look at the syllabus, and please have a look at the slides. Finish the slides before we come back on next Tuesday. That's today's lecture. Now, I will open the session for discussion. Now, raise your hand for questions. I can see the first person here wants to ask question. Right? Name is Mahdi, I think. Mahdi, please, you can speak now. Mahdi.
Yeah, assalamu alaikum, Mr. Ali.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullah. Wa alaikum assalam.
Actually, I'm sorry for maybe you will get back about us. But we are working long time. My duty will be from 7 and up to 5:30. It's difficult to me to send you my assignment at 10, especially I'm outside.
Okay, thank you. Okay, I've got the question. Right, as I said, yes, I expected most of you to be working anyway. Now, because of this, I will give you extension, not tomorrow. I'll give you until Thursday 10 p.m. So that's 2 days. Right, let me clarify this. I know most of you like work and stuff, but don't forget, this is also a work. I appreciate people who work and study. I myself used to work and study all my life. Since I was at school until I graduated my PhD, I used to work and study. I know it's difficult, but trust me, it's beneficial. You have to be the مسؤولية. You have to take responsibility. I know I'm not trying to be harsh on you, but you have to take responsibility. I know you work, but at the same time, this is also work. You came here by your free will. You wanted to come here, so prove yourself to be at most your performance. Okay? So I know it's a bit tough, but never mind. I will give you extension, so you have 2 days to give me this work. Try to work at night, and try to deliver me this assignment. Thank you so much. Right, the next person is Arwa. Arwa, please speak. Arwa?
Yes, hi. Excuse me.
Hi.
I know this is a silly question, but can you give us the exact name for the program, for the Java program that we could work on it?
Yes, I put it on the page of you, so it's called BlueJ.
Sorry?
Or you can also BlueJ.
Oh, BlueJ. All right, thank you.
BlueJ. I've already written it. I don't know if you came late or so, but I've already written it. So if you go back to the lecture, to the recording, you will see it written. We've got BlueJ, we've got JCreator, we've got NetBeans, they're all work. But I prefer for now to use BlueJ. Okay, it's written on your whiteboard. Right. Next question from Hafsa. Hafsa, speak. Hafsa. Have I given you permission? Okay, I think it's. Okay, I'll give another person. Amjad, speak. Amjad Dosari. No. Now, Zainab. Zainab, speak. Can you guys hear me? Do you still hear me? Do you still hear me? If you hear me, put yes. Okay, you can still hear me. I think they have a problem with connection. Nurjis. I'm having a problem with the connection, I think. Fatima, I think it's either me. Right, let me try to fix this. Okay, Fatima, can you speak? عليكم السلام.
بس عندي سؤال، هل أقدر أستخدم جي ديفلوبر؟
Say that again. Sorry مرة ثانية.
J developer. Can I use it?
J developer. I prefer to use, as I said, either BlueJ or JCreator or NetBeans, because these are the most common ones. Preferably BlueJ. يعني أفضل شيء نستخدمه BlueJ. Next person.
Because I'm using J developer.
Sorry?
Because I'm using J developer in work.
Okay, no problem. No problem. You can still use it. If you're not using it, it's okay. Just send it to me. That's fine.
Okay, thank you.
Russia? Russia? Russia كيف تكون؟ عندنا the connection is
السلام عليكم أستاذ.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Just I need to, can you repeat the first step when I create the file? Because I didn't get. I know what I will do after the first step, but from where? How can I create the first step?
Yes. Once you install, obviously you know how to install your Java. Install your Java, then go to File, a new project, and then continue. واضح? A new project and then continue. Just follow those clear instructions. منى. منى, can you hear us? منال.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله.
Just I would ask you about the code we use it in the Java. It's C++ language or C language.
عيد السؤال. هل اعتقدين انه هو الجافا هو السي ولا سي بلس بلس؟
Yeah.
No, Java is different program.
Mm.
C and C++, C Sharp, MATLAB, they are different. Java is a separate program.
It's another, yes.
If you keep, it's another program. Yeah, you can go back to the beginning of the lecture and you will see the notes. منال مرة ثانية أو منال. Okay, I'm having difficulty with Manal. Shahar.
Yes, teacher.
Shahar.
Yes, teacher. I want to ask you about the assignment. We should send it through on the BlackBoard or by your email.
Either you can upload it to try to upload it to the BlackBoard first. If you cannot upload it to the BlackBoard, then send it to me by email. Try to upload it on BlackBoard. Do you know how to upload? I think you should be able to. You go to BlackBoard, assignment, upload your assignment, and you should be fine. If you cannot, then send it to me by email. We have what do we have here? We have Manal again. I'm failing to speak to Manal. Manal? So again, عندنا غادة. غادة, can you hear us? Can you hear us, غادة? No. We have Abir. Abir, can you hear us? Oh, yeah. Right, okay. Let's see. غادة. Okay. I think I'm having problem with my connection anyway. غادة? Okay. Nice. عندنا منى المجديد. Try. Can you hear us?
Hello?
Yes? أهلا.
Excuse me, can I ask you, if I use Mac, what is the appropriate Java program for me?
This is the thing. That's why I said try not to use Mac, because Mac will not be compatible with Windows. When I mark, obviously I have my own Mac, but for the sake of the classes we will use Windows. When I mark your work, I'll be using Windows. If you send me a Mac file, it will not be compatible with Windows. So please try to use Windows Java for Windows, so we can be all يعني كلنا نتوحد في الشغل. However, for your own personal thing, if you want to use Mac, Java and Mac, just go to Google and type in Java for Mac or download Java for Mac, it will download for you. But for the work, for the class, please use Windows. Right, next person. Okay, Hanan, thank you. Hanan?
Hello.
Hello?
Doctor, can I ask you about the answer for the homework? Is it
Yes.
a print screen? Do you want?
Yeah, I would like to. I want to share. I want to see your code as well. So, a program for me, a simple code that will print a statement. أطبع جملة. يعني just print a sentence, whatever sentence you want. So I want to see your code. I want to see your output as well. Put it on a screenshot if you want to.
A print screen, right?
Okay. You can do print screen if you want to.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. No problem. We have Sarah. Sarah? Sarah? Can you hear us? No, you're not. We have Ghada. Yeah. I've just been notified that I have one minute left. So in 1 minute we will end. So let me try. I'll take last question if we have Ghada speak. Okay, right, anyway, so time is up. It's 7:30 now. Anyway, I hope you have benefited from this lecture. As I said at the beginning of the lecture, if you have missed anything, you can go back and see the recording. And if you have any other question, I'm really sorry I could not answer all of your questions because you have, mashallah, so many of you. But if you have any question, please do not hesitate to email me. Email me on a.mahdi, I put it at the beginning of the lecture, a.mahdi@sedu.edu.sa. Email me this email, and inshallah I'll try to answer all your emails by tomorrow. So allow me just a few hours. By the time I see your email, by the time I can reply to all emails, and good luck, and I hope you've had a good lecture, and I'll see you next Tuesday at the same time. Goodbye for now, and see you,